Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here. Happy almost spooky season. It's almost Halloween. I almost said Valentine's Day. Happy Halloween, everybody. Almost happy Halloween. I'm very excited for Halloween this year. I just like I just like the ability to just eat copious amounts of candy and chocolate and don't care about it. And I also like that I can dress up as anything and no one can judge me that day. Anyways, love Halloween. Stay tuned for a special Halloween episode that I will be dropping tomorrow, which I don't want to give any hints, but it is a very special episode. Well, I am excited to have Shannon here today. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, of course. I'm glad we finally got to do this. Been waiting for
Yes.
this one. I'm super excited.
I gotta thank Nardvillain as well as my like producer and second most returning guest on this podcast. Love you, Nard. Love you, love you, love you. I've been putting out the beacon to TikTokers being like, hi, like I'm Stassi. I'm not crazy. I just want to interview you. So like like I can like get to meet more creators and make like build out this platform because I really just interviewed people that were on Instagram for 2 seasons. So I'm like, I want to get into the TikToker community. And thank you so much for wanting to come here.
Yeah, of course. Nard is always good for that. I feel like he is friendly with everybody. Everyone loves Nard, and he's good for reaching out.
Oh, I know. He's such a gem. But anyways, Shannon, before we dive into this interview, why don't you tell us a little about yourself and your Sims history?
Yeah, so I have been playing The Sims since I was probably 10. So I started with The Sims 3, which I know to some people makes me sound like such a baby simmer because I feel like every time I say that, people are like, well, I've been playing since The Sims 1. But I started with The Sims 3. I have since played all the other games,
Okay.
so I'm caught up on the lore. But yeah, so I've been playing since about 2011.
Mhm.
And I started making content in 2021,
Okay.
pandemic times, as most of us were just in the house playing The Sims. And it kind of just took off from there. I've pretty much been doing content pretty consistently for the last like 3 years.
I love that. I've been playing since 2003. So I feel very old saying that I've been playing this game for 21 years now. Because
Yeah.
I think I'm 21 years old in my mind. So it's really confusing that 21 years ago, I was 10. 11. I would have been 11 by now. It's crazy. But anyways, though it's exciting. So what was your favorite rendition of The Sims?
Oh, okay. So this is always a tough question because for me, The Sims 3 is the nostalgic one. Like
Yep.
that's the one that I grew up on. And I have started playing it again now that I once again have a computer that can handle her because she's a lot.
Yes.
But I've been loving her. I really do love The Sims 3. I think there's a lot of things I really like about it. Now that my computer can run Create a Style, I am just going loose. But with that being said, I do think between 3 and 4, because obviously 4 I'm playing all the time. That's just what we're all doing right now. But 3 just
Mhm.
has like that special place in my heart.
I love that. It's such a good answer. So like I like the first Sims game I ever played was The Sims.
Right.
And I love it. I haven't had the opportunity to play it because I am on a laptop, basically a mom answering email laptop. The fact this
Right.
baby pumps out episodes, guys, like is phenomenal because I have to hope, wish, and a promise every time I turn this laptop on me. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah.
good, good, you're staying on today. But I would love the opportunity to go back and play 1 and 2. Now I know Sims 3 is on the shop. If you had the ability to play all of the expansions from Sims 2 and all of the expansions from The Sims, would you play it?
Oh, absolutely. I actually have The Sims 2. I don't think it's all the packs, but there is a version that's still available on Mac that I got through the App Store.
Mhm.
So I've been playing a little bit of that, but I think I don't even really know how to play those games. I feel like anytime I do a little like surprise on stream with it, I'm like, guys, what do I do? What buttons do I click? I don't know how to do this. And The Sims 2 is so hard.
Mhm.
Everybody's dying.
Everyone's dying.
Everyone's dying. I genuinely played for probably like 2 hours on stream and everybody died. And I was like, guys, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm trying my hardest.
I love that. It is hard. Like, I mean, like at the time, we were like, I remember being like, my sim is always dying from the microwave.
Always.
Always dying from the microwave. I'm like, I love this though. Cause at the time when Sims 2 came out, there was nothing. Oh,
Yes.
they're like nothing. This was the trailblazer. And like I harp on EA a lot, and there are things that EA can improve. But like it's been a trailblazer game
Oh, yes.
this entire basically generation of gamers. Everybody and their mother has either A has heard of The Sims or has B played The Sims in their life. So
Everybody. Yes.
everybody.
Well, she's been around, so
She's seen some things.
that
Uh,
she has. I do think that the Sims 2 really does still reign supreme in animations though. Like
mhm.
even just the cooking, like opening the cabinets and stuff like that. Like I love that for her. I just don't know how to play it.
I
I
agree.
still need to learn.
Like they had cuddling. They had cuddling like straight from the gate. And
Yes. And why did we just now get that in The Sims 4 and half the time it doesn't work?
because Daddy EA has problems. But like that's why a lot of machinima creators out there still use The Sims 2 to create machinimas, even though like she's like almost 20 years old now, because it's so groundbreakingly amazing for
Yes.
those just genuine interactions and animations that just don't exist in The Sims 4 unless you have CC mods or poses or added animations or you're using MCC Command Center or Wicked Whims or just any of them. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page because I would do anything to play The Sims and Sims 2 one more time.
Oh,
So,
yes. I recently, a couple years ago, got The Sims 1 from a thrift store on a disc. And luckily, at the time, my computer was so old that she still had a place to put the disc. It took hours of like moving files around and doing stuff that I don't know how to do. And I played it for a little bit and I was like, wait, this game is hard too.
oh, this is definitely hard. I mean, if you can see behind me, look at this beautiful collection I have.
That is beautiful.
If I can give the full thing as I'm like falling here. I
Yes,
have the original Sims, all of the Sims 2 expansions now, and now all of the Sims 3 expansions.
that is a dream.
It is a dream. Thank you, thrift stores.
Yes.
Yes. But like I just like I don't know, I just now I want to play The Sims. Not that I don't like The Sims 4 cuz like every time The Sims 4 to me is a cruel mistress. I'm like I'm out of this. Like I don't want to play this anymore. And then I saw please note this episode is being filmed in September. So the leak came out today for the new kits, which will be out by the time this podcast comes out. And I
Yes.
was like, oh fuck, now I need them.
Oh, 100%.
I need those kits. I want those kits. I'm like, you cruel mistress.
Well, because you know what? At this point, you're a completionist. You have all of the other games you need. I feel like I was the same way for a while with The Sims 4. I was like, I'm just gonna have all the packs and I can do without some of the kits. And then it got to the point where I was like, no, wait, actually, I also need all the kits. I just need to have all of it.
I need some of the kits because like the so like full disclosure, like if I'm to play The Sims now, my Sims game is very different to what it was for the last 3 years. I used to be a full-time storyteller. So that's
Yeah.
all I would do is create Rose Chronicle chapters, which basically I would put my Sims, I would treat it like a movie set. And we would just boop, 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 all animation. They'd have no autonomy and everything was CC. So if like my CC wasn't working, they were naked mole rats just
Yeah.
running around. Um, but now, because I no longer do that, I've become a builder, and now I'm like, oh my God, CC build items are just phenomenal though. Like there's just some stuff that I'm
A
like,
whole new
oh,
universe.
it's a whole new universe. I had some stuff already, but I'm like six of them, like, oh my God, this is okay. But like again, but I'm like, I wanna like I'm in builders collapse. So I'm well, like I literally bought the castle pack because I wanted the castle rock for an accent wall.
Yes.
Yes, that's all I wanted it for. Or
Just for that one wall.
just for that one wall, or I was in So You Think It Can Sims, like season 1 as a contestant, and I was like, I have to buy all these packs because, well, it's a goth week, and there's a
Right.
goth pack. I gotta get the goth pack because it
We
just makes
need
sense.
that.
We need that. Um, but yeah, what were your thoughts when you saw the leaked photos today?
I am really excited. I knew I was going to be excited for the new kits ever since the roadmap that came out
Yes.
last week. But I think I am really excited for these more so than I may have been for some of the other ones. Party essentials. But no, I am really excited. I am looking forward to it. They come out in what, like about a week now, right?
The
Is it
19th.
the 19th?
The
Yeah.
19th. I'm sure they'll be formally announced tomorrow.
Yes, that
Formally.
makes sense. Yeah.
And then they'll come out the next week. I don't know. I'm just excited for it. It's just I really like the artistry kit. Like I'm liking these more builder kits. I also do have a lot of thoughts on kits that like it's kind of more for console players who can't have CC.
I could see that.
Yeah, and I respect that as well. But no, I very much am enjoying this kit. Now, we have to talk about the new expansion pack coming out tomorrow, but for us, next month.
Yes.
So I'm intrigued by it. I
Yes.
want to hear your thoughts before I let you know mine.
So I think intrigued is definitely the right word. As far as I've seen, I haven't seen too much in terms of like leaks about it. Um, I know a lot of people have speculated like Grim Reaper career, stuff like this. I'm sure everyone's laughing at us now when this episode is coming out because they know everything and it's coming out tomorrow.
Yes.
But as of right now, I know very little about what the pack is going to be. Uh, Full transparency, my initial thought is I hope that it's not just like another bit of generations that makes people feel like I know sometimes there's a sentiment that like Sims 4 packs are what a Sims 3 pack used to be, but broken up into 10 different pieces. I'm
Hmm.
hoping that that's not the case. And I'm hoping that it does have a really unique element that makes it feel like its own thing, which I feel like a decent amount of the expansion packs we have right now do. I just, in the current moment, don't really know what that would look like. Because Grim Reaper career, yes, but I feel like I need a little bit more than just a career for it to justify like an expansion pack for me.
I agree. Like I'm thinking like so like life and death. So I'm thinking angels?
Okay.
Death? I mean like yeah, kind of have one without the other, I guess. I've also thought I'm like first I thought I'm like, oh, like Day of the Dead. That's the first thought that came to my mind.
Oh, because it's coming out like around
Halloween. So
Halloween.
I was like, oh, cool. Like I hope they're gonna, play on those factors and do like a Mexican Spanish town. Anyone who celebrates
Yeah.
Day of the Dead, please don't come for me. But just like that type of pack. I also obviously think there's gonna be some tarot card readings. I could see a career maybe being like a psychic. Just kind
Ooh.
of more of the witchy vibes as well. I do hope that it's either like a Day of the Dead scenario. I just hope the world isn't like a Forgotten Hollow 2.0.
Yes, that's another
Yes.
thing. I think we've had so many themes in The Sims 4 already that obviously there's going to be an element of like some things just are going to repeat. And I think that that's okay.
Hmm.
But I want something that makes this kind of like stand out. So it's not just like vampires and paranormal stuff had a baby, you know?
Yes. Well, I agree. And then werewolves had a baby. Throw that in there
Realm of
too.
Magic, like
Realm of
just all
Magic.
of it. Like yeah, I'm very interested to see what ends up coming of it. And I definitely hope to see somewhat of a, like you had mentioned, that whole life and death. Like I'm assuming we'll see a lot of the death side of thing, but I'm curious as to what the life means.
Right? And I was thinking about that today. I'm like, if it's angels, does that mean fairies is around the corner?
Ooh.
Right? I mean, because like wings, because like we need wings in The Sims 4 that are
Yes.
that are not CC. We
Or
also need,
just the spooky stuff costume.
I agree, or we also need like crowns and tiaras. Actually, if anything,
Ooh.
I will take a Sims 4 medieval world. Thank you. That's all I want.
I could like that. I could like
Right?
that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want more like that's what my build style is. I just want like give me everything Renaissance and I will lose my mind. But what I'm hoping with this kit, I'm gonna switch it back to the kit for a second,
Okay.
that with like the artistic kit, like you can paint like more genres than what's currently allowed for painting.
Ooh, yeah, no, that would be great. I will say, I think I am still to this day like discovering new things in the game in terms of like I had a sim get really into the painting career and I was seeing new paintings I've never seen before. And I would love to just see more of that. I think I always think it's fun when they like hide little things in that aren't like obvious, like on face value. I love to like find little things later on in the game.
Yes, I agree. And I think that's like the best part of like exploring, and like and they're constantly updating, right? Like there's some stuff where I'm like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah,
So, but yes.
absolutely. I love that. Yeah, super
Yes.
excited to see what ends up coming from that.
I agree. Now, the only thing is, I'm a little worried about how fast EA is pumping out expansion packs again. Because we just had
Yes.
one. Am I
Yeah, Love
crazy?
Struck
Yeah, I love
was
Struck.
that was July?
July?
August? No, no,
Right?
not August.
No, it wasn't. It was.
June or July?
Was it August?
Feels like last week.
I'm trying to think here because Nard bought it for my birthday. Love you, Nard. So I'm
It
like
may have been late July.
July because my birthday's in August and he had bought it for me. So I'm like,
Huh. Well, I remember intentionally finishing the 100 baby challenge in time for Love Struck to come out. That was the date that I gave myself, and I want to say that was July,
July. Also,
which is still really recent.
I appreciate everybody listening to this podcast. I can hear them screaming at us right now, being like, "It's this date!
Google
You
it.
can do it!"
I know, like two like Sims content creators. When did the pack come out?
But
Like
that's what
scratching our
I'm
heads.
saying, right? But here, that's what I'm talking about here. Like, when did it come out? Like, it just came out. So,
Yeah,
like, I kind of hope that like EA will slow down a little bit on content creating and just kind of, maybe fix some things that need to be fixed. And we don't need like 2 or 3 expansion packs in one year. Like, I'll take a game pack, 3 kits, and maybe 1 expansion pack in the entire year.
I could
Like,
go for a game pack. A
yeah,
game pack would be great.
I want a game pack. Okay, I take a game, and I'll take a stuff pack too. I'll take a stuff pack.
I'll take a stuff pack any day.
Right? Like, I'm not picky. Like, I know they forgot about them for like 2 years and then they came back. But like, I would take a stuff pack. Just
Absolutely.
something
And
fun.
to your point about like fixing some things, I am still having like a pretty major bug with Love Struck with my Sims relationship bars plummeting. Within like literally a couple days, they'll go on a date and just be absolutely in love. And 2 days later, they're unsatisfied and on the brink of divorce. So I would love for that to get fixed. I love
Right.
that so much.
Right? I'd be like, fix that. Like, I haven't really done gameplay in years, like
Yeah.
traditional gameplay. And I can't see me ever going back and doing that, but I see the community and they're just like, we want this fixed. But like, anybody listening to this, and like, I've talked very openly of how much I want this stuff fixed. Don't come for the Sims gurus on
Oh, no.
on
Yeah.
Twitter. Like, they're just customer service guys. Like, they're getting a 9 to 5 paycheck. Okay. Like,
Right.
y'all need to calm down. But at the same time, I think why I harp so much is because I love The Sims, and I think we all do, and
Absolutely.
we just want it to be the best. It's like
Yes.
it's like the problem child that we know that can be an A+ student. But right now
A
she's
hundred
getting
percent.
she's getting C's, and we're like, but you got this. Like, it's in you. We believe
Yes.
in you. So,
I am very interested to see. I know that they do have this new team. The laundry lists are getting longer and they have this team more
mhm,
dedicated to bug fixes. I'm very interested to see how that goes in the months
mhm.
to follow. I'm excited about the idea of hopefully getting more bug fixes. But yeah, there's a couple that I know, like with stuff like that. Like if my Sims can't stay married, I've got a problem.
Yes, especially if this it's the literally last expansion pack was about love.
Right. Now all my Sims are just having one night stands. It's not cute.
Chaos though.
Yeah, love that. So many broken homes.
God.
Oh,
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I gotta talk about your 100 baby challenge because you've actually successfully did a 100 baby challenge and you did it really relatively quickly,
I
which
did.
which is crazy. Like I tried to do the 100 baby challenge. I mean, who hasn't tried to do a 100 baby challenge?
Yes.
I got to 2 toddlers and I cheated and had a nanny and I kept the same dad because I was like, "Yo, it's my game. I do what I want."
Yes.
And, yeah, I gave up after 2 toddlers. I was like, "This is awful." Um,
It's intense.
why would anybody willingly do this? I wanna hear all about the successes of your 100, baby challenge and how you were so successful in getting it done so quickly.
Absolutely. So I started the 100 Baby Challenge in the beginning of 2024. I believe my first day was January 8th of 2024. And I was streaming it. So I was doing it primarily over on TikTok. And I will say, having other people keeping me company kept my sanity during a lot of points. The 100 Baby Challenge seems all fun and games, but I would argue it's one of the hardest challenges in The Sims universe. It is challenging. I will say, I was telling everybody the hardest part is honestly the first 7 babies. Because until you get in a rotation of constantly having an older kid in the house, it's
Mhm.
just you and little ones, and that is hard. But I really got in a groove of always having like an older kid in the house to help out with like the younger ones and cleaning and fixing the sink and all of that. So once you get past that first hurdle and you always have an older kid, it does get a little bit easier. But yeah, I did it in 6 months, six and
Yeah.
a half months. One baby mama, no additional matriarchs. It was all her. What a woman. Yeah.
So how were you able to just keep it as one matriarch the entire time?
So Sims don't age while they're pregnant.
Yes.
So my girl Maddie, her name's Madison. Um, so one thing that really helped me, I feel like a lot of people when they approach the 100 baby challenge, they're like as many babies as quickly as possible, and they go for like the fertile trait and they go for twins and triplets every time.
Mhm.
Having one baby at a time, I never had a single set of twins. One baby at a time kept her pregnant longer because the household didn't fill up so fast. So she just kept having one at a time. And at that point, there was a kid who had gotten through school and was ready to move out. So
Mhm.
she just was almost constantly pregnant the entire time. So she really didn't age that much.
So did you start her as a young adult and she ended as an adult? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, so I like created her in Cass, and like day one of existing, this woman was pregnant. And by the time we ended, she had aged up into an adult because there's always those awkward little times where she's not pregnant at midnight and she ages up a day here and there.
Mhm.
But she was very early into being an actual adult. She had plenty of time, plenty of days to go by the time we finished. So she just stayed pregnant.
She just
That
stayed
poor girl.
pregnant. That poor girl. Just
Yeah.
imagine throwing 100 footballs out your cookie. Or I guess in The Sims, the weird machine.
Yes, just getting violated by that claw machine so many times.
So how did you financially support? Because I know the rule like she can have a job. So like
Right.
were you able to make simoleons for her?
So I started out painting because I feel like that's what everybody always says is like just paint.
Mhm.
Um, Now I don't know if this is technically cheating, but I eventually just got a money trash can.
Yeah.
And that
It's
money trash can made me so much money.
it's not cheating. It's just normal. Kelsey and Peach K had the same thing on her 100 baby
Yes.
challenge. Yeah, just throw that in there. You make
By the
money.
time I got the money trash can, we never worried about money again. I think I ended with like 300,000 simoleons. Because when you have that many kids and that many plates and nobody cleans up after themselves,
Yeah.
I was just nonstop dragging things into the trash can.
How much is it per plate in the trash can? Do you remember?
So it's $10 per sim in your household. So because I normally had the mom and 6 of the kids and then she was pregnant, I
Mhm.
was always getting like $70 a plate. We were loaded.
Yeah, well, if there's 10 plates or X amount of
Yes.
plates.
All your kids are just eating, and it's not just plates too, it's anything you can throw in the trash can. So bottles, diapers, piles of food on the floor, everything, cups. We made a lot of money
Oh,
just throwing out garbage.
I love that. Who was your favorite child?
Ooh, okay. I had a couple. When you
Okay.
have 100, you're obviously gonna have a couple.
Yes.
Um, so my first 50 kids I named after the 50 states in the United States because that helped me keep track of them. So I just went through the 50 states alphabetically. So Connecticut, I loved. He was, I guess,
Oh,
what,
you
like my
literally just named them after the states. At first, I thought like maybe like a part of the state.
no, I named them literally the 50 states in order from Alabama to Wyoming because I could keep track of them easier.
Oh my God. Did you like attempt to dress them like the states too? Like per state?
Every once in a while, I would give them a makeover. And more than dressing them to the state, I tried to dress them to remind me of who their dad was. So, like one of my kids, Arkansas, I loved her. She was Brent Hecking's daughter from the Cats and Dogs pack. So I had her in like a cute little cats and dogs hair and stuff like that. Just to kind of, to me, it felt like, that's like their family or whatever.
Yeah.
But half the time I didn't do their outfits because they were so in and out.
Yeah.
It was a baby making factory. Most of them didn't stay around very long.
Did all of your kids survive to the end?
So it's a little controversial.
Okay.
So I would say I counted every kid who made it to young adult. Once
Yes.
you're a teen, you get an A, you age up, check, done, you did it.
Yes.
I had one, Oklahoma, who had just become a young adult.
Yep.
So she was a young adult, check, she did it. Walked in on someone in the bathroom and died of embarrassment. I didn't even get a picture of her as a young adult. So on the wall in the house was just a picture of her urn. But she was a young adult. So I counted her.
Okay.
And everybody else survived. We just
Okay.
lost the one.
You just lost the one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you named the first 50 after the first 50 states.
Yes.
What'd you name the other 50?
So after that, I started letting my subscribers on TikTok Live name them. I would just let them randomly pick names and I would do first and middle names. So like two people got to name each baby.
Mm-hmm.
So they just started getting real funky after that because people were just having so much fun with it. Just because I was like, whatever you want to name it, I don't care. They don't have to be names. We had people named Mango and Taco and Avocado and just whatever they wanted. Chaotic.
I want to hear some of these names, please. Because like again, the first 50, I got you. Come here, little baby, New York. Here, Florida. Here, Texas. I got you.
Yes.
But I want to hear about like Taco Cheese Queso Jr. Like I want to hear about this.
Yes, we had one. Okay, Mango, I think was actually Bob Mango, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh, I had a baby with Patchy the Scarecrow, and they wanted to name him Patchy Jr., so we just called him PJ.
Cute. Okay. This shit's
Yes.
cute. Okay, I like
Some of them
this.
are really cute. Some of them were cute. The Grim Reaper's baby ended up being Grimes because I had a baby with every single man in the game.
Okay.
Nobody was safe. I just did all of the townies. So, yeah. Um, yeah, PJ was a cute one. Grimes was cute. We had one who they just really wanted to stick with the geography thing. We named it Puerto Rico.
Okay.
It was just a mix. Like, and I will say it was a lot easier to keep track of them when they were named after states. After that, I didn't have an order. They were just named so randomly that I barely knew who was who half the time. But people were just like going with anything, a food or their pet's name or their kid's name or whatever. Like we were just all over the place at that point. It was crazy.
I love that.
Yeah, it
Would
was
you
fun.
would you ever do this challenge again?
So I get asked all the time, why don't you make it 200? Why don't you do it again? I have said on the off chance that they ever add a preteen life stage, I will do it again because it'll give me like a new element, like a new something to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do it again right now just because it does get repetitive. Like it
Mm-hmm.
gets to the point where you are just in such a routine of homework and potty training and getting pregnant that it kind of I just wouldn't find it like exciting to do again unless it had like that new element of a different life stage or something.
I got you. I see if they're gonna add a new life stage, I do pray that it's not preteen. I would like it to be a golden years
Oh,
because
okay.
why do you go from 45 to 110? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of the jumps are a little dramatic in the
yes.
ages because also like why do you go from 2.5 to 9? You know?
Yes.
I think it's just I wish I know it'd be so hard to do and with the clothes, I get why it doesn't work, but I do wish that there was a little more of like a transition. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100% from a storytelling perspective. Why does a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old look the same?
Yes. I saw
Yes.
somebody's TikTok. Oh, I wish I could remember who it was. Somebody made a video recently of they threw their like kid Sims a birthday party and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden the kid ages up and is like a teenager in this room full of children and it's like so awkward.
Right? Because they're like, because but the thing is between teenager and young adult, there's no difference.
Yes,
There's
they just look
they just look
grown.
like I mean their cheeks are a little less plump. That's it. And
Yeah.
they might get like a little baggy. But like that's it. And you know how annoying that is to be like, huh? Like to
Like
be
that is
honest,
not a 13-year-old.
that's not a 13-year-old unless you're in fucking Riverdale, then it's a 13-year-old. Or
Right. Like is this yeah.
what 14-year-olds look now because I'm like, y'all look old.
I know and then they age up and they just like go up a cup size and that's it. Like
Right? Like, oh, bigger boobs. That's fine.
right.
But like it's so difficult being like, how am I supposed to tell people that I'm like, no, they're 9 here. Just change the hair.
Right.
Right? No, making someone look from a young adult to an adult is easy
Right.
because you age, right? But like yeah, I guess child to child is hard, but I still stand. We don't need a preteen. I would like a golden year.
I'll
Like I'm
take both.
but I mean, like, okay, for like the 100 baby challenge, like, yes, it would increase it to that. But I just want seniors to have something for seniors.
I do think they need more activities, and I know that's something that some people are speculating going back to, like, the new expansion pack is,
Yes.
like, give us some stuff to do leading up to our death.
Yeah. Like, I would love to see like retirement homes or community centers dedicated
Yes.
towards that. Or honestly, I want someone to make a machinima of any old lady movie, like 80 for Brady. I fucking love that movie. It is completely hilarious. But I wanna see, like I just wanna see some old ladies get in trouble, okay?
Yes. No,
That's
I
what I
love
want.
it.
That's what I wanna
Definitely
see.
more elder activity, something. And I wish again, I don't make video games. I don't know what goes into this, but I know that in The Sims 3, elders had canes and they were cutesy little old people walking around.
Yes. I've been saying this for years. I would like to see canes and wheelchairs.
Yes.
Yes. Even for anybody to have a wheelchair. You don't have to be elder to have a wheelchair. Just having that so you're able to create yourself and have that proper representation of having
Oh,
a
absolutely. I
wheelchair
think
or having missing appendages. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
yes.
off.
Oh, no, 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 you're good. I just on that note, I do think we need a lot more like disability inclusion, whether it is yes, like amputations, wheelchair accessibility, and even just like adding more scars into Create a Sim. I feel like that would help. I know they've done C-section and they've done top surgery, but as
Yes.
someone who I'm pretty open about this on my platform, I had a thyroidectomy last year because I
Oh,
had thyroid cancer.
yep.
I would love a neck scar on my sim self. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I feel like that's something that could be added pretty easily. That would make a big difference to people whose bodies look different.
I could not agree more. Yeah, scars. Scars.
Yes.
Because like it's a normal part of life.
And they have started adding those. I just would love to see a lot more, especially it really came to my attention. I always knew that it was something that was important, but then as someone who now has a visible neck scar, I really was like, wait, why can't my sim have that?
Well, that's exactly it, right? Of just being like, I want to be able to make myself to my authentic self, and I'm not gonna
Yes.
hide from my scars. See, something I would like is stretch marks.
Yes.
A proper bodies. Because, I
Yes.
mean, no one's got fucking perfect skin in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We got lumps of fat, we got stretch marks. Like, I got stretch marks to my fucking eyeballs, okay? Like, I would like to see that in the game that's not CC.
Yes. I think skin textures in general, we all have little discolorations. I know my cheeks are always a little rosier, and stuff like that, I think would be really cool to add in, like maybe more options for birthmarks and moles and things like
Yes,
that. Like, why can't we just paint our Sims the way I can paint my horse? Why can't
exactly.
my horse look more like me than my Sim self can?
No, the only thing I have a request of Daddy EA, if you're listening to this, you need to get the freckle on the hand. Like, everybody has a freckle, one freckle on their
Wait,
hand.
I have like a huge spot.
There you go. I have mine's
Yes.
right there, and my other hand right here.
Yes.
Literally, I remember reading this BuzzFeed article, like, I don't know, like 10 years ago, being like, everyone has a white freckle or freckles on their arm hand. And
Yes.
I'm like, yes, yes. Again, like, I'm freckled from like head to
Oh
toe.
yeah.
Give me like freckles. Give me like speckles. Give me like all
We
that
need
good stuff.
more spots.
More spots. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for telling me all about your 100 baby challenge. I saw that you completed that in like 6.5 months, and I'm like,
Yes.
how is that like humanly possible?
Well, and you know what helped was a lot of 10, 11-hour stream days. Cuz I was also doing like a campaign on my stream for like a good month where I was streaming for almost a month straight, like 10, 11, 12-hour days. So we got a lot of time in that way. Otherwise, I'd probably still be doing it. But
How do you stream for 10 hours? I'm just really curious. I can barely maintain like a podcast, and it's good. Like, they can range from 20 minutes to 3.5 hours. So how
yes.
can you stream for that long without being like, I gotta pee, I need to poop, I need to eat, and I need some water?
You do all of that on stream.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Especially the peeing and pooping, right? I guess I make sure like that's on there.
I tell everyone that I'm peeing, but listen, what I'm doing when I walk off camera is none of your business. But, no, I did it for, I would say about, like, 4 weeks straight. It was just for this campaign on TikTok. You got, like, some swag items from TikTok if you got a certain amount of points, and I was going to get this backpack and sweatshirt, so I streamed almost the entire month straight. I was eating lunch and dinner on stream. I was literally on pretty much from when I woke up until about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I would not recommend doing that all the time. That was definitely not healthy by any means, but I was just committed to the backpack. So that's what I did. But since then, I definitely kind of had to step back and get like healthier boundaries with like the amount of time that I'm putting into content creation because it is hard as a content creator. I'm sure you know, as like, there's no one telling you to do what with your time. So I feel like I always find myself on one end of the spectrum, way overworking myself and not giving myself time to do anything else or really slacking. And I feel like that's one thing that is really hard to find a balance on.
It really is, and I think you're bringing up a really good point here is, like, as content creators, like, we are our own bosses. So
Yes.
we get to decide our schedule, and we get to decide what we put out. I can speak for my personal journey on this podcast of I've been doing this now for 3 years. I just passed 3 years doing this, which is crazy to think about. Having over 230 episodes to my name in 3 years is a lot of episodes. I worked like a fiend throughout the last year because this was a revenue stream for me at this time last year, and I was getting married. So I was trying to come in with money left, right, and center. And I would like film an episode of a podcast. Like, I used to film 6 to 8 podcasts in a weekend. Sometimes I would film 4 to 5 podcasts in one day. I would start at 7 in the morning and end at 9 p.m. at night. And there are episodes because as I was making my thumbnail for my 3 year anniversary, I every single thumbnail I've ever made for any of my interviews was on there. And I was like, I interviewed this person? Like, what did we talk about? I can't
Yeah.
remember, right? So, like, I set this unrealistic, healthy boundary because I was going to be the best. I was gonna put out the most episodes, and I was gonna be heard, but it affected my relationship with my friends and my family. because they just didn't
Yeah.
see me and they couldn't maybe understand why this was so important to me. They supported me, but didn't get it. So then I took this
Yes.
6-month sabbatical and I was like, oh, like I love TV and I love movies and I love my friends and I love my family. And I missed this for so many years. I'm very much
Yes.
enjoyed this summer of like, I'm just going to do whatever I want. And it was
Yeah.
great. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's hard. And, I always say when I talk about content creation, because people always ask, oh my gosh, that looks like the dream job. Like, how do you do that? And I could talk for hours about it. But I do think one of the hard parts about it is a lot of the times you're doing it alone. We don't have the traditional coworker to bounce ideas off necessarily. And you create your own boundaries, you create your own schedule, and there's not a lot of resource to guide you
Mhm.
in that. And so a lot of us, especially because, it's still a relatively new field, we're trying to figure it out the best that we can. And there's not a lot of resource for it.
I agree. Right. And like, I'm sure as you have hit that moment on TikTok when you get a video hit a crazy amount of watches and you're like, "Oh my god, I've made this. This is like the best like I can't believe this. It was a throwaway video. I'm going to start posting like crazy to keep this trend up." And then your next video gets like 3 views and a Batman symbol. So like you're kind
Mhm.
of like, "Huh. Okay. That sucks. I put so much time. I put 10 hours into this video. No one saw it but me showing my phone on screen being like,
Yeah.
"Ah," and it gets like 10 million views. So, like, it's so humbling on that aspect as well.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot that goes into it that we all do a really good job of making it look like, everything's sunshine and rainbows and we're just playing a game that we love. And we are, and I will never lose like how grateful I am to be able to do this full time and be able to be just like a voice in the community and have my platform and all that. But I think we really don't talk about like the hard parts of it too and how it is exhausting and it does like really affect as much as we try not to let the numbers and the hate comments and everything get to us. We do. We're human.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I avoid TikTok
Yeah.
a lot. It is
Yeah.
something else, to say the least. I don't see it because I have like 225 followers, which is pretty sad if you think about it for TikTok, but I don't care
But
because
think about 225 people in a room staring at you.
yes. Or
Yes.
when these podcasts get thousands of listens, thousands of people are listening to these podcasts. That
Absolutely.
is petrifying. I couldn't even make a speech at my wedding without like twisting over my tongue to say
No,
thank
yeah.
you. And there was like 100 and something people in that room.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that, like, this is something, like, I've talked a lot on this podcast, and we've hosted several mental health podcasts about this, and I'll continue to talk about it. It's very important. It's really easy to just get distracted with a goal or comparing yourself to another creator.
That's a big one too.
Yes, of being like, "Well, we started at the same time. Why are they blowing up and I'm not blowing up?" And, like, we're doing the same thing, and it's why are they more successful than me? And then you get imposter syndrome, and then you're like, "Well," or when you do blow up, you're like, "I don't deserve this. Like, why should people be watching me this much?" And then you start to spiral and you think, "Well, why am I even doing this then?" Or like, "I'm not worth this time," or you read a bad comment, which I love reading those comments. Thank you, trolls. You keep me active.
Thanks for the
Um,
engagement.
thanks. Yeah, exactly. Keep sharing that. Mwah, love you. But you take me on a bad day,
Yeah.
that's gonna hit me. No matter how strong I am, one negative comment could ruin my day.
Absolutely.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
so what do you do in that scenario to protect yourself and protect your mental health being a content creator?
So I will say, I think it's something that I still am learning every single day as new things come up that is not even something I ever thought I was going to have to worry about. One thing that I've done from the get go is protecting my platform as much as I can with blocking keywords from comments and things like that, and in my live chat blocking keywords, things that I don't even want to see it,
Mhm.
because there's a lot that I can just handle. But of course, we all have are sensitive points where it's like I just know to protect myself. I can't even see that. But there's only so much that that can do. People will find a way to get past the keywords and stuff like that. Um and yeah, I think that's something that I still am kind of learning. I know I do have I know I mentioned that content creation can be lonely, but I think a lot of us have made those connections and have found like our core groups of people that we have our little group chats with where we're like, why did somebody say this to me? And just kind of like hype each other up. So making friends in the community has been really helpful, but I know that that takes time to kind of build those relationships with people. Um, but yeah, just having friends and sometimes just a good cry. Sometimes you just have to cry.
I agree. Having friends in the community is amazing. I have the best support network. Love you. So many people out here. I'm just awesome. You're just so awesome. But just having that support system can really help you no matter what aspect of your life that you're dealing in. Because if you feel like you're
Yes.
alone, you might not make the best decisions because you're acting like you're alone or not having like a asking somebody for a second opinion or being like, should
Yeah.
I do this or should I do that? Um, Now I gotta ask, if you're having a good cry, what is
Okay.
your like, if you're having a okay, I'm like, I'm giving you an hour, you're gonna cry your eyes out. Are you like watching a movie? Are you like eating
POV, we're
food?
crying.
POV of crying.
Oh, I will say I have to give a little shout out to one of my best friends in the community, Austin Fendler, because if I'm crying, I'm on FaceTime with Austin Fendler
Oh my god. Okay, hot
100% of the time.
Austin, if you're listening to this, can you please check your DM because I'm trying to interview you. Uh,
Yeah.
I
No, he has been by far, like, I would say in the last year or so, like my person to the point where we just like jokingly call each other like coworkers. Like, he is like my go-to in the content creation world of like, someone left me a hate comment. I'm so upset. Like, I need to talk to you, or like, I don't know what to do in a video. Like, I need advice. And that's why, like, getting back to like, I think it's so important to make those connections with people who get it, because as much as we can have friends and family and boyfriends and husbands, if they're not doing content, they don't get it. Like, they know that you're an awesome person and someone shouldn't have said that to you, or that video shouldn't have gotten a small amount of views or whatever, but they don't get it, you know?
yeah, because they're not in it. They're
Yeah.
not they don't know. They're like,
Yeah. No,
well,
it's definitely, you need someone who's in it, you know, and knows what those numbers mean and stuff like that.
I gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing that with me, and I'm glad you have a good supportive network. For me, it's Nard Villain, Disney
Yeah.
Sims. My name is Gons, the Awful Gamer. Guys are awesome, and I love you.
Yeah.
Anytime that they're just a support, it's just nice. It's also just nice to have somebody there that's doing the same thing as you and understands, again, kind of like what you're going through. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, I got a couple more questions for you, and then
Yes.
we're gonna wrap this up. With spooky season here, as it's like tomorrow. I know I
Yes.
saw on TikTok that you were building the Hocus Pocus house because spooky season can be all year round. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Yes.
What is your favorite? Describe to me your favorite spooky season. Like, what are you doing?
Ooh, okay. So I my ideal spooky season, movies, blankets. Let me get specific on the movies.
Yes, thank you.
I have vivid memory. It's funny because this movie like does still to this day kind of scare me, but I will watch it every year. E.T.
I love that for you.
I am still afraid of it. I'm 24 years old and I get nervous watching E.T., but it's just like a classic for me.
Hmm.
Um Halloween Town, Twitches, like all of those kind of like
Oh my god.
classic Halloween movies. So a classic Halloween movie, some orange lights. I'm big on decorating.
Okay.
Big on decorating. Orange lights, and then the little, what brand are they? Those little cookies with the little pictures on them that you put in the oven?
Pillsbury.
Pillsbury. Yeah, the ones with the pumpkins.
I love that for you. As a Halloween Town standee, and I have a Halloween Town shirt. I do not currently have it on. I want to go chase it for you, but these poor people watching this video on YouTube will see that I'm in shorts. Um, what is your favorite Halloween Town movie? And there's only one answer, so please select this correctly.
Wait, now I'm nervous. It's a test.
It is a test.
I'm gonna say the original one.
Absolutely. You've won
Okay.
the grand prize. Okay, so 1 is the best.
Yes.
Next to 2.
Yeah.
Calzar's Revenge. I have no notes. It's really good. I didn't no. Calzar's Revenge is 2 because that's when they no. Calzar's Revenge is 3 because that's when they have the Halloween Town kids in the town with Marnie. And they create the folk because is it the second one?
This is just another example of everyone listening is gonna be yelling at us for
No,
not being able to figure this
Cal's
out.
Revenge is the second one because that's when they opened up the portal between the towns.
Yeah.
Yes. And Halloween Town High is the third one.
Yeah.
And then there's Halloween Town University, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Cal's Revenge is
We
the
did
second
it.
one. And then Halloween, yes. Because I was combining both movies. I was like, no, let me think here.
Right.
Also Twitches is phenomenal. I watched that
So good?
both movies because so good.
Yeah. I love Tia and Tamara.
I want a Disney plus sequel. I want a third one. I want their kids to be
They're
in it.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love them. I used to watch like even after like Sister and Twitches and everything. Like I would
Yep.
watch like the like Tia and Tamara show. I was obsessed. I love them so much.
So much. It was just so good. And like the movie was it still holds up. Okay. Like
It's everything
still
that I
holds
was
up.
watching Sister last year. Like everything still
Yes.
holds up.
It still holds up to compare to like some of the stuff that Disney Channel's putting out now.
Yeah.
But like
I
how
just feel like a lot of TV and stuff like bring back like 12 season long shows with 24 episodes a season. Like bring back TV.
yes, okay, I want to hear because we're almost 10 years different. So like what TV and movies did you grow up on? Because I'm just curious. I'm very curious to see this.
Okay, so I will say I've got a lot of older siblings and older cousins. So
That's
I feel
fair.
like that sways me
Okay,
a little more closer to millennial than I am Gen Z.
that's fair.
But I would say growing up, like I was in the Disney Nickelodeon era of
Yep.
like Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place,
Okay.
That's a Raven, Sweet Life, that kind of stuff. But then I will say I was far too young watching like Friends, George Lopez, like Home
I
Improvement, like all of that kind of stuff.
I appreciate George Lopez. I don't think anybody's thought about that show in like 20 years.
I think about George Lopez more than I think anyone else on the planet. Like there's just something about like 2 in the morning, like the theme song, the trampolines, like there's something about it.
But there was like that was like the sitcom-y show back then. There were
Yes.
so many of them.
Yes.
Because like at that time, How I Met Your Mother was
Oh, so good.
huge. Besides the
So
ending,
good.
trash. And
Correct.
Big Bang Theory. Those were like the two big
I
shows.
just watched Big Bang Theory. I mean, I'd seen episodes, but I literally just a couple months ago finished watching it all the way through.
Mhm.
I'm obsessed. I'm currently watching Young Sheldon, and I know that there's another show coming out that like George and whatever, like their first marriage,
Sure. Yes.
George and Mandy's first marriage, I think it's called, coming out soon. I'm just so locked into the universe right now. I'm so locked in.
I love that. But see, as a millennial, I'm a 93. So the cutoff's 96. So I've always kind of geared myself more to the Gen Zers because
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a 90s kid, even though I was born in the 90s. I was 7 when it ended.
Yeah.
7. You know what I watched when I was 7? Pokemon and Sailor Moon, okay? Like everybody else. But
Yeah.
like I grew up on Lizzie McGuire.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like that's what I knew what a fucking bra was for. Was that episode? I remember being like, I'm like, Mom, I want a bra because Lizzie has a bra. I was like
Yeah.
9. And then she's like, No, you're too young. I'm like, no, need a bra. But like, I like loved that So Raven. I loved all
Yes.
the original movies, the Cheetah Girls,
Yes.
so good.
Do you remember, I think it was Nickelodeon, Unfabulous? Do you
And
remember that show?
Fabulous. Yep,
I
that's a
had a
Nickelodeon show.
poster up on my bed from Unfabulous. I loved that show.
I love that, but, like, all, like, the Nickelodeon shows, so that would be, Victorious, Zoey 101,
iCarly. Oh,
iCarly,
Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh, which I heard is
Yeah.
coming back, which I'm interested
Is
about.
it? Is
Yes,
it like Drake Bell and Josh Peck? Are they
I heard that they are coming back for this a spinoff of it.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
the reason I'm about that because like the past, we're not gonna get into what the one of the
Right.
actors did, or I don't know if they were convicted of it. This is not the podcast to discuss this. However, Zoe 102 was hot garbage.
Oh, yeah, I watched that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
wasn't crazy about it. It was one of those things where it was like, for the nostalgia, of course I was gonna watch it, and
yes,
I'm glad I've seen it just for the lore, but yeah, I wasn't crazy about it.
right. So like I'm very hesitant of stuff. Like I'm really sad that the Lizzie McGuire reboot didn't happen because of
Yeah.
creative differences of Lizzie having a sex scandal. Like that would have been amazing. Obviously, Disney can't get past this, but now you have Deadpool in your catalog, so like, fuck you. But I'm really hesitant about stuff. Like, I didn't like Raven's Home.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Proud Family reboot. They're making a Wizards of Waverly Place one,
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I heard about that. I forgot
but
about
like,
that.
I'm excited for that. But like, who is that for? That's not a millennial. I'm just
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, I'm just gonna be watching with my cousins. I don't know if, like, kids are gonna watch it.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like, who's this?
Did
Right?
you watch the I haven't seen all the episodes, I've seen a couple, the, like, iCarly reboot. Did you watch that?
I did not, because I was not a big iCarly fan.
Okay.
I was a Disney, Cartoon Network girl. The only
Yeah.
thing I watched on Nickelodeon was Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I still
Okay.
stand holds phenomenally to this day of how good it is. But that's all I ever kinda watched on Nickelodeon. Oh, and obviously, like, The Amanda Show,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
oh, I can't even remember whatever her, stand-up show was. Because
Oh, yeah.
it was kinda like a Saturday Night Live, but for kids. I think it's All That? I'm pretty sure it's All That.
Yeah. Yeah,
S
well, wasn't it All That and then The Amanda Show? She got her
Yes.
show from being on All That.
Yes. Something on
Yeah.
the lines of that, but yes,
That's a whole other thing that we should
yeah,
probably not get into.
yeah, we're not gonna get into quiet on set here, guys. This is not
Right.
how I want this podcast to
Not that kind of
go.
show.
It's not the type of show. I am not an expert to speak on any matters.
Right.
But yeah, like you kinda like you're saying, like, I would really like TV to come back, but also I don't because I love miniseries, so I can like binge through miniseries. I also like
Yeah.
my shows being 18A. Like if it doesn't have blood, boobs, and swearing, like I'm probably not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I think we need a mix, you know what I mean?
Okay,
Because
yeah.
I want a show that I can get committed to, but then I also need little shows in between, but then I feel like there's so many that, like, I'm watching right now where I watch, like, my 10 episodes that all come out on the same day, and then I have nothing to do for a year, you know? Like, I'm waiting on Ginny and Georgia, I'm waiting on The Summer I Turned Pretty, like, I've been waiting for a year.
Right? And because that's like the downfall of streaming, but like now what streaming services are doing obviously is that like one episode a week, which
Yeah,
to me defeats the purpose of streaming. You just don't want people to just spend their money or get a free trial for a day and binge through your series. I get that.
right.
But at the same time, like I'm obsessed with the show From. It's become a very unhealthy
I don't think I've seen that.
it's a very dark, twisted show. It is
Ooh,
phenomenal. It
okay.
comes back in like 10 days from now, and I'm like cannot wait for this. But this is the first time it's coming out like by episode. It's not coming out as a
Mm,
drop, and I'm like, you bastards. Like you think when
yeah,
Stranger Things season 5 comes out, that shit's not gonna be like part 1 of the final season comes out this month. Part 2 of the season finale comes out this month.
yeah.
Right?
I'm
So
okay I will say I'm okay with, like, some of them have started doing where you get, like, say, like, 5 episodes and then,
yeah,
like, another 5 next week, because what I like about that is, like, then everyone has time to kinda, like, be on the same page, and
agreed.
it's not like, "Oh, well, I already watched the entire season, so you need to go start it, like, today," you know? Like, I like to have it a little spaced out, but not by months.
Yeah, so it's kinda like what Netflix does with, like, The Circle or,
Yeah.
Love Is Blind kind of idea, like
Yeah.
or I think Bridgerton. did it this season, right? They
I think
released
they did, yeah. I was thinking too of, like, Squid Games did it. I think that
Squid
was what
Games,
I was
yeah.
thinking about, yeah.
Squid Games was another one of, like, again, like, I do like shows when the whole world stops revolving for, like, 1 minute because everyone is watching this
Watching it.
show.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and then I was like, "You're not watching this? Oh my god," like, I think the last show was Squid Games. Everyone was like, "You need to watch this.
Right,
This is
like, "Why are
so
you
good."
watching this?"
Right? But no, I love that. I hope you have the best spooky season. It's my favorite
Thank
time of
you.
year. I will start, actually by now I would have finished it, but while this is filming, every Saturday morning in October, I will watch a Halloween Town, and then I will follow that up with a Twitch or Twitches or
Oh,
any
yes, love
other
that.
campy, like, Halloween episodes. So, like, any, like, the
Yes.
Sweet of Zach and Cody and, That's the
Ooh, yeah.
Raven, any of those, like, fun, campy Halloween episodes, and then
Yeah.
I prefer campy over spooky or scary any day of the week.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I'll watch a horror movie, but I will have my eyes closed.
oh, I'll scream like a little girl if I
Oh, yeah.
see oh, yeah, like, I do watch a horror movie a couple times a year just to, keep me on my toes and scare the
Yeah.
shit out of me.
Yep.
But, like, it's not a movie I'm gonna go run to. But I am excited to see Beetlejuice, like we talked about
I
before
can
this
do
podcast started.
psychological horror, but
Like a
I
he
don't
like a Hereditary?
kinda or, like, what was I think there was one, oh, what was it called? I wanna get the name right. I think it was, like, The Killing of a Sacred Deer or something. That was just, like, creepy. But
Okay,
it wasn't like gory demons jump scares and that kind of thing.
okay.
I jump scares get me. I'm too jumpy for jump scares.
Oh, yes, I don't need help getting jumped, like jumpy scares.
Yeah.
Like, I do
Like,
that
you can
on
mess with my mind, but, like, I can't do like, the super scary.
Nope. I completely got you. Well, I hope like I said, I hope you enjoy spooky season. Now,
Yes.
one real final question. If
Okay.
anybody wanted to, start their TikTok journey,
Okay.
how would you do it? And what advice could you give them?
Okay. So I would say for anybody who is starting to get into content creation, whether it's gaming or otherwise, I think my biggest piece of advice, and I know it's kind of cliche, is to just do it. It's embarrassing. Your relatives are going to see it. Your neighbors are going to see it. The people you went to school with are going to see it. You have to just get over it and do it because you are going to find the people who think it's really cool and are proud of you for being able to be vocal about that, and you'll find your people. You'll find your little corner of the internet. So just do it. Just post. Be consistent. You're not going to get views on a video you never post. So get it out of the drafts, hit the button, and yeah, I think that'd be it.
I think that is the best advice I've heard on this podcast. You get 0 views on posts you do not post. That is very true. Well, thank you, Shannon, for so much for coming here today. Where can we find your amazing work?
Oh, wait, thank you for asking.
Yes.
I am Simmingshannon pretty much everywhere. So TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I don't really post on X, but you could follow me there if you want to see the stuff I'm retweeting.
Love that. All the links are gonna be below. Thank you so much for coming here today and indulging me and getting to know a little bit more
Thank you
about
so much
you.
for having me. I'm so glad we did this.
Yes, me too. Again, I love getting to know new people and I love first time interviewing guests. Like I love that. So thank you again for coming here today and just enjoying this. I hope everybody listening to this is enjoying the first month of this season. I having such a blast filming it and I can't wait for all the crazy fun stuff that's going to be coming out. I don't really have anything really to plug for myself besides if you'd like to, you're listening to this and you wanna listen to the other, like, 235 episodes, hit subscribe. I have a podcast episode for anything Simsley. You could think of a topic, I'm pretty sure I've covered it. So, go take a look at my catalog. Also, Forever and Always will be coming out next month. I'm very, very excited, so please stay tuned for all of those, promotions that we will be doing with the entire cast. So please stay tuned to that, and Shannon, it was an absolute pleasure having you
Thank
here
you.
today. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And happy Halloween tomorrow. And stay tuned for the special Halloween episode that will be coming out tomorrow. Bye, everyone.